Hello and welcome to video 2 for the Year 8 game design project. In the first video we did a bit of research, we looked at different types of game and hopefully you created a timeline of the history of computer games. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those. What I want to do in today's video is just to look at researching existing computer games already. But before we get on the actual work, can you please make sure you're on Google Classroom like we were before? So you've got your log on, your username and password. If you forgot on your email, your username or your password, please email your teacher to let them know. You've got your work here. So you've got your booklet you've been working on, a Google Slides we're going to come to for evidence, and here you've got the presentation that I've been giving you, along maybe with some YouTube links and so on down here as well. So if you're not there, please press pause of the video and make sure you're at Google Classroom. Excellent. I'm going to assume that everyone's at Google Classroom. So today, what we're going to look at today is actually quite a fun part of the project. We're going to look at playing existing computer games, right? So hopefully you will all quite enjoy this task. So you're going to have to review 3 or 4 different computer games, but for different devices. They can't all be on your Xbox or all on your PS3. Right? But you will need to research and play a game on mobile phones, on consoles if you've got one, on laptops if you've got one, and on Scratch. And there's going to be a table that looks like this in your booklet that we're going to work through. So, what I want you to think of when you're researching computer games is the playability. How easy is it to play? Right? So when you're looking at computer games, is it easy to play? Does it get harder and harder as you go along? So does it start off easy and get a bit harder and a bit harder and a bit harder, therefore putting that competition in there, putting that difficulty in there to make you want to keep on playing? A good computer game makes you want to carry on playing. If they're all the same level, it gets a little bit easy, you give up, right? What are the good points of the game? So describe to me some of the good points. So if I was talking about one of my games that I enjoy playing, which is FIFA, right? Some of the really good points I think are that you can be the team that you support. So I can be Charlton Athletic, and when I get better at the game, I can actually beat teams like Middlesbrough or Manchester United, unlike in real life when Charlton would just lose. Right? And can you think of any improvements to the game? What would make the game even better? Is there anything else that you think they could add to that game that would make it better? It might be you might not be able to think of anything, but you might be able to. Other things that you might think about, obviously, you're going to put a description in, but what else makes a good computer game, right? So you might think about different levels, right? So if you're a game on your mobile phone, might have different levels that you go through. They get harder and harder and harder as you go along, right? A more complicated game on your games console, an Xbox or PlayStation, might allow you to play with other people. So a really good game allows you to play online or have 2 or 3 or 4 players. So what I would like you to do is, if we go back to Google Classroom, you need to load up your booklet here, your Year 8 computing booklet, which should look something like this. We're going to look at task 3 and researching different games. Now I've put down here 5 things that you can do. So I've put a game on Scratch that you can look at that one of our Year 8s has already created. So you can play that game, right? You might find a different Scratch game. I've got mobile devices, mobile phone, console, laptop or computer, and other. So you might think of another game, another console game that you could play. You need to find a game that you play on these devices. I want you to give a really good detailed description, right? What are the good points of it? As I said, is it a good game? Why do you think it's a good game? What are the good features of it? And are there any improvements that you can add to it? And when we come to creating your own game, we're going to look at this to start thinking about how we can make a really good game. If you could pause the video to get that done. Excellent. Hopefully now you've completed this table. The second part of this video is just your self-assessment and teacher assessment. What I would like you to do so far for part 1 for the research is to say what went well. What have you done so far that's really good? And what improvements could you make to your work? Then if you put a comment on Google Classroom, so if you go back to Google Classroom, you can put a private comment here to let your teacher know it's ready to be marked. Your teacher then will give you some assessment and give you some feedback on how you can make the project better so far. So 2 tasks for today. One was to get the research done, on different computer games. Hopefully you've completed that and had some fun playing computer games, and you can use this video to persuade your parents that actually you are allowed to play computer games for work. And secondly, it's just getting your self-assessment part done here. Thank you for listening to this video. The next one is we're going to start thinking about creating your game, and that's on video number 3. Thank you.